First of all, Jeremy, thanks for hopping on to talk to us. I was looking forward to this conversation. How's the beginning of the season going?
It's good, man. Practice number 8 is today. Just uh kind of put in the base work and kind of the basics of what we're doing and just getting guys back acclimated to football. Some guys that weren't here over the summer. So it's been going good, man. I'm excited about it.
Nice. I know year two is always kind of exciting because some of the stuff that you laid the groundwork for, everybody's starting to understand it a little bit more. They got a little bit more time to digest it. Are you seeing that out of some of your veteran players that were there in year one?
Absolutely, man. And I think as a coach, that's what you want to see. We know right now we're nowhere near a finished product. We know it's a long season. Our big thing is to be ahead of where we were last year, and I think we're at that point. But I think that's also credit to some of our older guys that we have, kind of taking some young guys, taking some first year guys underneath their wings, and kind of just showing them the way. So I'm extremely excited about it. We got a really good senior class, and those guys are really kind of taking charge. So
Nice. And I mean, for you personally, year two as a coach, how are you feeling now that you got 1 year under your belt?
I'm excited, man. For me, it was kind of getting used to some of the stuff that you don't really get to see. Kind of coming behind the scenes work, some stuff that you got to do with administration and kind of some school related stuff, and that's the kind of stuff that you really can't prepare yourself for. Football is football. Yeah, there's different ways and different you know techniques and things that you can kind of teach and all this other stuff, but it's kind of more the behind the scenes work that I didn't really know exactly what went into it. So I think having 1 year of that underneath my belt, now you can manage your time a little bit better, schedules, all that other stuff.
I know you were an assistant coach back till 2019, but what was it like for that first game as the head coach to lead your old high school out there and coach your first official game?
I was just excited. I was excited for the kids, man. Like I said, man, now with being able to do football in the summer and then you go through fall camp, and uh, I think guys are just ready to play some games that mean something. So I was excited for them. Yeah, you're excited for yourself too, but for me, it was all about the kids, man, and just doing whatever I can to put them in the best possible situation to be successful. It was definitely a surreal feeling, but I think it was more so, the excitement that I seen on their faces.
Definitely. And talking about the kids, obviously everybody always gets excited about the high school players that can move on and play college. But what do you do to try and make sure that everybody, even the kids who aren't going to play past that high school season, what do you do to make sure that it's that special thing that everybody thinks about and looks back on? Because I know high school football is special to a lot of people and it holds a special place in their hearts.
Absolutely, man. I tell my kids all the time that I still remember everything that happened from high school, and I was able to go to college and go to the pros. So if that still means something to me, I can only imagine what it means something to people that may not ever put on another football helmet again. But it is a very, very special thing. And the thing that we try to do at Kirkwood, man, is yes, football is important, and I'm a football coach, but I'm there to help these kids grow, mature, develop, and achieve some of the things they want to achieve in life. And believe it or not, way more times than not, a lot of that is not football, and that's just the reality of what we're dealing with. So for me, man, I'm just trying to help them get to places they want to get to, and even if I play just a small part in that, I know that we did something right. So I want to create the experience very enjoyable for them. Uh, you know, uh, the way we set things up, man, we try to involve a lot of different people. We try to involve a lot of different players. For us, man, it's just all about how can we help them grow, and that's on and off the football field. And I think we have a really, really good situation. I think we got a really, really good setup. I think we got a really, really good formula as to how we're doing it. And I'm excited just to continue to help this thing grow.
Yeah, I mean that sounds amazing. It's a great approach. So, how after you retired in 2017, how did you get into coaching, and what made you want to get back into football in that specific way?
Between that me, you, and everybody else is going to watch this now. When I retired, man, So I actually retired in 17 was my last year I played. I actually retired after the 18 season. Um, and I spent the whole year trying to get back healthy. Um, I had gotten married not too long ago. Wife was pregnant. Um, and for me, I didn't leave on my terms. I was hurt. I couldn't shake back. Um, Essentially, I had an injury that um, kind of goes hand in hand with long distance runners. Basically, my muscle deteriorated in my hamstring. My hamstring deteriorated. So it eventually, and I just couldn't come back from it. And I didn't have time to do surgery. I tried everything. I tried um, stem cell. I tried PRP. I tried a whole bunch of different things, right? And it just didn't work. Um, so I took a whole year trying to get healthy. And then for me, man, it was just kind of all right. It was time. My wife was about to have a baby. Um, but because I didn't go out on my terms, I was kind of in a rough spot. For the first time, um, you know, I wasn't going to be playing football. I've been playing football since I was 9 years old. So I was trying to figure out what the next step for me was. Um, and I had an opportunity. I had a cousin who was playing at Kirkwood, who's now in North Texas. I had an opportunity to come back home and coach him. And I was like, you know what? What cool, you know, transition could I have? What cooler transition could I have than to be able to come back home and coach, somebody I'm related to? And then it just kind of grew and grew and grew. And I was like, you know what? This is something I really want to do. Um, and it just kind of blossomed from there, man. But I knew in some capacity, I didn't know what, that I was going to come back to St. Louis and give back to the community to help me become the man I am. So I just didn't know at what capacity. And then football still burning inside me, man. So you take football, you take the life lessons, you put them together, man. You get a high school football coach. So I'm excited about it.
Definitely. I mean, and how nice was it that it actually ended up being your old high school in Kirkwood? Would it could it have been anywhere else, or was it always going to try and be?
Now the head guy, I don't know, but I was always. I mean, I called Farrell Shelton immediately. I was like, hey, is there a chance for me to come coach? Just volunteer, whatever the case may be. So I knew I was going to do that at least for a while at Kirkwood. And it just so happened Farrell was kind of transitioning out when I was really getting into this thing, and I was like, if I'm going to do it, what, why wait? So I was able to apply for the job, and just everybody knows my heart, man. They know that my heart's in Kirkwood. A lot of those kids walk the same halls and grew up in the same place that I grew up in, man. And I'm just here to try to help.
Who are some of the people that have impacted you as far as your approach to being a coach? Both with the tactics and the scheme, but then also the stuff that you talk about where you're trying to make sure these young men are becoming well-rounded adults.
Well, I've had a lot of great people, man. A lot of great coaches, coaches now that I can call mentors and friends. The list goes on and on. From Coach Pinkel at Mizzou and Coach Reed and Deuce Staley and even Furl and David Culley. Like I've just been blessed to be around a lot of good people, man. So my thing is, I was able to play under these guys for so long, and I can kind of see how they do things, and just kind of take, hey, I think this might work, so let me try this. Hey, I don't think this was going to work, so I'm not going to mess with this. But hey, I think this will work, and you just kind of trial and error, man. You kind of go and as a coach, you got to constantly evolve, right? You have to, you have your foundation. You kind of have kind of who you are and what you represent. But if you're not constantly growing with the times and with the kids, then you're doing something wrong. So, even to this day, man, I can get on the phone, I can call Coach Reed or call Coach Pinkel or Deuce Staley and say, hey, man, hey, X, Y, and Z is going on. How would you guys handle it? And they're able to, kind of give me a suggestion. Another cool thing is I got on my staff currently, I got 3 former head coaches on my staff. So even right now, man, like those guys, man, I lean on those guys a lot. If I got questions about certain things or certain situations, if they've ever experienced this as a head coach, and how would they handle it? So, my coaching staff right now is pretty special. To at a high school level to have the experience that we have, it's pretty cool.
I know you've talked a lot about wanting to be Coach Maclin and move away from, former pro football player Jeremy Maclin and all that. How have you tried to weigh those two things and balance that out? Because obviously there is going to be a little bit of excitement from your players for that.
Here's the deal. I embrace it, because that's who I am. I did play professional football, and I'm very proud of that. It's a very small percentage of the people in this world get to do it, and even smaller percentage get to do it for 9 years. You know what I mean? So that's something pretty cool, something to be proud about. The big thing for my kids is just let them know I'm human, just like they are. I'm approachable. Something that's is more popular now. Isn't as popular now, but really popular back in the day. Like each one of my kids has my phone number. I'm very down to earth, very very present. No, this isn't a media thing for me. This isn't like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. So anytime any of those guys need to get a hold of me, they just know that, hey, Coach Maclin is as real as it gets, and I'm here for them if they need me, and that's the big thing.
With the way that college sports are right now, there's a lot of stuff that are hitting high schoolers that, when they make that decision. How have you tried to help those select few that have the opportunity to play in college make the best decision for them, and for their families?
For starters, I try to let them in on my experiences, right, and what I experienced. And when I was coming out of high school, recruiting has definitely changed. The landscape of college football changed. Everything's changed. But I just let them know my experiences. And at the end of the day, there's no substitute for good people. All right. You have to go somewhere where you feel comfortable. You have to go somewhere where you feel like you're going to be taken care of. You got to go somewhere where there's genuinely good people. And unfortunately, right now, in some places, there's not very good people. So I encourage those kids to get to know the coaches, to get to know if they're, the town, the community, to take a visit, take an unofficial visit. Go see if you can see yourself there, picture yourself there. Don't get caught up in all these other things, NIL, all these other things, right? Just do what's best for you and understand that there's no substitute for a good person. Because at the end of the day, when the dust settles, character still matters. And I don't want people to get lost in that.
No, you're absolutely right. And, Jeremy, one of my last questions for you is, when you started to get into coaching, was there a moment where you just got hooked, whether it was a kid finally figuring something out on the practice field or something like that? Was there that moment for you where you're like, yeah, I'm going to be a coach?
Absolutely, man. I've had many examples of that. One of the big things I have. So when I got the job last February, so not this past, but February before that, there was a kid that I talked to in that spring right after baseball season. And I talked to him about coming out to play football. He wasn't very sure about it. He ended up coming out after the third day of summer. He writes me a message, or his parents write me a message saying, hey, he wants to figure out how to do this for the rest of his life. That's how much he enjoyed it. And to see him grow, from a kid that's never played football before to put himself in position now where he's starting, he's going to have an opportunity to play college football. For me, that's more than worth it. Those are the stories that I really, really enjoy, because it ain't even just about him becoming a better football player. He's more outgoing. He's got friends. His personality's showing. When I first talked to him, he couldn't look me in the eyes. Now he's confident. And that's what it's all about, man. So, for me, like I said, yeah, a lot of it is on the field, but it's the little stuff, man. A kid now finally being able to look you in the eyes, a kid being confident, a kid having friends, a kid joking, smiling, not, being sure of himself now, and just really blossoming into like his true self. For me, that's been the most fulfilling thing in coaching. Yeah, like I say, yeah, I love the X's and O's. I love scoring touchdowns. I love it all. But that situation right there, I mean, that's second to none.
No, that's the beauty of high school sports, honestly, and coaching, kids at any age. And that's awesome that you get to experience that. And Jeremy, first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time. And before we wrap it up, I just want to ask, do you feel like I left anything out, or is there anything you'd like to add to what we talked about?
I think we're good, man. Like I said, man, we're Kirkwood is excited about the season. We got high expectations, and we're just looking forward to getting going, man.
Absolutely. Well, again, Jeremy, thank you so much. It was great talking with you.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out our other videos, and don't forget to smack that subscribe button down below while you're at it. Also, for more great and original content, head right over to bvmsports.com.